that's how I absolutely see this tool helping us move forward in a way, because it allows us to challenge ourselves in a way that we haven't before. It's interactive. It allows you to ask these questions and it becomes a mirror. And through that mirror, it gets to that pattern recognition that we have talked about a lot in this series. And as it recognizes your patterns and what you're asking of it, it will begin to understand. Do you only like one style? Are you more expansive? And so through our dialogue, if you have asked questions that are expansive, then you ask, well, what across all global religions would help support me so that I have something that is robust enough to support my growing, expansive spiritual being? It can offer different aspects without holding you to only being in a tutor, but it will challenge you as a human. If you have your entire life been in one defined framework and suddenly you're asking, okay, what others could additionally come in and help me, and suddenly you find, if you've been one framework, aspects of another framework could come in and help you, it's going to push you and it's going to challenge you. And that is where the discussion changes. We're going from religion to theology because it's more now about, okay, can you expand your belief system to go beyond what just one religious text is telling you to the theological basis behind the expansive nature of God itself, right? I caught myself. We talked about this last podcast, breaking a habit pattern. The word right came up. It's a habit I'm breaking. So conscious awareness, I said it, I am catching it. Help me, everyone who is listening to this. If you ever hear me say the word right, we're breaking this habit. It is one of those things where we have to be willing to be challenged. One-way tools don't challenge us. Interactive tools will challenge us.
Well said. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's really easy to fall in the habit of one-way tools because they fit our narrative, they fit our view. And I think you brought up a beautiful point and kind of similar, like, what if we just lived in the same home our whole lives? For some people that has happened, and that is not out of the norm for them, and that's okay. But that could be viewed, for example, as a one-sided tool. For example, I grew up in Arizona here, and so it's very rare to find a house that has a basement. Going to other places around the country, different friends' homes, as I travel, and seeing a basement in a home was just mind-blowing. It was just, what is this? This is
I grew up in Ohio. Everyone had a basement.
Basement. Yeah, it's like a whole other dimension to me. It's kind of like, we live on land and then you go into the water. It's like, oh, there's a whole other world down under here and down there. So it just totally blew my mind. But that's kind of what I feel like this opportunity of interactive tools. It's like it creates the opportunity for multidimensionality, and you can have multiple experiences. And so in a house that has a basement, you have the upper floor, which is wonderful, and a lot of things probably happen up there. But then you have all this downstairs, this basement where more can occur, and it's expansive, even though it doesn't look like it from the outside. And so I think that's something that we can really help us kind of get out of our comfort zone and explore different things and use interactive tools like this to really just learn more. And it doesn't mean that we have to, if it is something as personal as religion, for example, just because we learn about other religions